Hi and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, join us as we give you a peek into our Joshua Tree 29 Palms visit. This is a part of the country we had never been to before, and boy did it not disappoint.
Words of wisdom.
Helpful tip, do not die today. Drink your water.
It's water! We were boondocking for about a week with 100 other rigs, more on that in a little bit, but we were pleasantly surprised by the 29 Palms and its quirkiness. Plus, we managed to get in one of the coolest hikes we've ever been on, a hike in Joshua Tree to an abandoned miner's house built into the rock cliffs. You don't want to miss this one. We end our stay by becoming Elks members through the 29 Palms Elks Club. We explain why this is such an awesome organization and how it can save you hundreds in camping fees throughout the United States. I won't go into what Escapers is. We did that in our Vegas video, so you can go back and check that out. What I can tell you is that this gathering was way different and probably more our speed. It's a way more quiet and peaceful setting versus how crazy Vegas was. Each day you're there in a different event, it has a different theme. You can choose to do some of the activities or all of them. It's really up to you. We took part in the onesie night, which Barry now knows the joy and the warmth of an adult onesie. There were potlucks with live music, bonfires, because it definitely gets cold in the desert, and the famous lock crawl, where you go rig to rig and sample bites and drinks and meet all the different people at the event. This event was super fun because there was a turkey trot on Thanksgiving morning.
How you feeling?
Okay. She hasn't run for a while.
The people dressed up were a hoot. Overall, the Escapers events are great for socializing and meeting new people. I'll put the link in the description in case you want to check out more about Escapers and escapees and all the cool things that they do. Teeming with natural beauty and ecological diversity, Joshua Tree National Park bridges two legendary desert ecosystems, the rugged Mojave and the warmer Colorado. Here amidst the palm oases and coyote dens, questing outlaws of the Wild West once found remote refuge before the land was set aside for protection and recreation. Today, more than 2 million modern adventurers flock to Joshua Tree each year to unlock its treasures, and there are plenty. The park namesake, the intriguing Joshua Tree, is a sight to see in person. I think the only one we had ever seen from growing up in the Midwest was on the cover of a U2 album. On our visit, we reveal to you a treasure and adventure that awaits deep in the remote canyons. It's an awesome abandoned mine called Eagle Cliff that dates way back to 1895. Founded by a gritty miner named Robert Muir, can you even imagine exploring these remote desert mountains with no trails, signs, or anything? It's just crazy. There's actually little history on Eagle Cliff mine since the records are very sparse. Apparently old Robert sunk a couple of serious deep shafts about 75 feet into the cliffs prospecting for ore. He wasn't very successful apparently. And then years later, another miner, Bill Keys, obtained the claim and kept working it into the early 1900s. He even hauled out small batches of ore by burro to process at the local Wall Street mill. That's just insane. You'll see why as we take you along on our hike to the secret miner's house.
How's this hike been for you so far?
It got tough. Last 10 minutes or so.
It is.
Straight up.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to be worse, the go up or the way back down. For some reason, we did not bring our hiking poles, which was stupid. This is sort of a hike / scramble.
Oh,
Sorry, guys.
come on through. The right side's easier?
The left.
The left, okay.
Hey guys, so we are about 3/4 of the way through our hike today. What was it? Eagle Cliff?
Eagle Cliff Mine
Eagle
in
Cliff.
Joshua Tree National Park.
Yeah. And so far it's been about 2 hours and 30 minutes. I think it'll be, I don't know.
Closer to 3.
Closer to 3 maybe. Close. We had 574 feet of elevation gain. Okay, look. There are some steep parts on this thing.
Yeah.
I think it said intermediate or moderate, you know, and the difficulty, and it was a lot of loose rocks, some boulder scrambling,
Yeah.
some straight up, some straight down, some slipping and falling. Not falling,
no, we
slipping.
didn't fall, but we could have, you know, if you're not sure-footed, you might have fallen. But
Yeah.
we would definitely recommend if you have hiking those poles or whatever, because don't be the idiot that leaves them in the truck.
Like we did.
Like this guy right here.
Yeah, they're totally sitting in our truck, but
Yeah.
that would be helpful. And you really should have good hiking shoes for that portion. It actually is, the beginning part of it is part of the Split Rock Trail, which is an easier hike. And in fact, there was a guy doing it in sandals, which is stupid, but he was. And so it's kind of, I'll try to put a mark on the screen. There's a marker, like, kind of says Split Rock Trail, but it never says Eagle Cliff Mine Trail. But
Yeah.
that's where the beginning of the trail is. We missed it and we had to circle back. So I'll
Yeah.
put that on screen so you don't miss it.
You definitely need to watch. You must use All Trails when you're doing this,
Ugh.
and be sure that you download it before you get here, because
There's no service.
They basically tell you Joshua Tree National Park has no cell service at all.
Yeah.
So you don't want to find yourself out on these trails and not being able to use All Trails, because we got lost more than once just trying to figure out where the trail, and we had the app.
Yeah.
And we're just trying to figure out how to get where we're supposed to go.
Yeah, it's not
because-
very well marked at all. So this is one of those trails you're on your own. You're just kind of looking for where you can tell people to walk through it. We got off a couple of times, but we found our way back on. It wasn't like, you know, too hard, but you definitely have to pay attention. There's a lot of little rocks like put together, like big rocks put together to mark don't go that way, because it looks like you should go that way, but the rocks are telling you don't go that way. So when in doubt, if there's a bunch of rocks lined up in a row, that's not where you want to go. So just things to look for.
I think the other important thing is to dress in layers. I mean, at least for us right now, it's at the end of November. So we're staying in 29 Palms, and so that's kind of in town, and it was a little warm. We were at the farmer's market earlier, and so but you take a lot of elevation to get up to the national park. And then when you're doing these climbs, you're literally climbing up over one big hill or mountain and going down another. And so we found that the sun is warm, but that wind, it can be really chilly. So, I just found it was best just to dress in layers. At some point I was taking my jacket off, putting it around my waist, and then I'd come over a bluff and I'd want to put it back on. I mean, it's, so you just got to make sure and of course drink lots of water, because you are in the desert. Even if it's not super hot out here, you're still going to get dehydrated.
Yeah. So we're here in November, and it's maybe 60, if that. Yeah, it's probably in the 50s. And we actually started this trail later in the normally we are the first ones on the trail. We try to avoid the crowds, but we did some other stuff.
That would have been way too cold.
It would have been way too cold. We would have not been very happy. So in this case, I'm really glad we waited a little bit. The parking lot was packed. In fact, we had to kind of park along the road a little bit, but we did get in. So
Plus it said lot full, but I'm like, let's just go look. And sure enough, we found a spot pretty easily, because people come and go pretty quickly, because a lot of people just come here to do the easy hike and they get back in the car and they head out.
Yeah. So if you're looking for a good trail, and you're willing to put in a little work, the Miners, what is it, like a shack thing, is really what you're hiking up to. And the views are really good. But the Miner shack was super neat. I mean, it's built into a rock, and it's just really unique. Like, you would never thought, and I'm proud of people for leaving the things that are there. Obviously, some people did take some stuff, but I think it's just such a unique, that makes the whole hike worth it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, what? It's crazy, right?
This is wild.
Here's the little window we were looking in. I'm like, there's the roof, man. Could probably let the smoke out there. Like a little, we've stuck the rocks up for protection. Look, there's still a little. Yeah. Maybe that's where they slept.
The master suite.
Pretty cool. It's literally built right into the rock. This is the cool stuff you find when you hike for an hour and a half to get something. Oh, this is the fire. Look, you can see the tins of what this stuff was. And we found this on All Trails, which is an awesome app if you don't have it. But if you really read a lot of the reviews, you'll find out sometimes the stuff is worth it and sometimes you're like, eh. So this one was definitely worth it. This is you know, if you're willing to make the hike was steep. And now we got to go down. But I think when you're willing to put in a little extra effort, you get to see crazy cool stuff like this. Some Girl Scout shirts, and they're cute. How's your beer?
Delicious.
Is anything delicious after a 3-hour hike?
Everything's delicious. This is even more so. 20 ounces.
That's a big beer.
10 now.
Yeah.
I deserve it.
It's water. One of the things that we love to do when we're traveling and going to all these little new towns and cities and stuff is to find out when their farmers market is. And it's usually just a Google search, just wherever you're at, Google farmers market. And they're usually on Saturdays and Sundays, but occasionally they'll have one midweek. So that's kind of cool. But I love, one, supporting the local artisans and the local farmers. The produce is generally better, and it's just fun. There's lots of food vendors and things like that. So, and you always see something weird at a farmer's market, and it's just one of my favorite things to make time to do. It's hard to give up your Saturday morning or your Sunday morning sometimes when you're in a big hiking area. Like right now we're in Joshua Tree. We're going to the 29 Palms farmer's market, and it was small, but super fun, super cute. We came away with a bunch of produce and essential oils and a pair of hemp socks. So see, it's just fun to try out new stuff. And like I said, I don't mind. Sometimes it feels like you're paying a little more. It just really depends where you're at. But it's totally worth it to support the locals and to get really, really great fresh produce. So while we were at the Escapers event, one of the organizers arranged for anybody who wanted to become an Elks member to sign up, and they did a special membership evening for us. So one of the problems we always had is we had heard that Elks is a great way for overnight stays and things like that, but we never could stay long enough to attend one of the local meetings and be accepted, and we needed sponsors, and it just became a little more of a hindrance than something we thought we could do. So when the the Elks at the 29 Palms said that they would do a special one because we had so many people. I think we had like, I don't know, 15 or something like that. People that wanted to become Elks members. That was really great for them. It was a nice little cash influx for them because you do pay dues. You have to pay one time. We only had to pay a percentage because their year started in like, I don't know, a different month. So again, I think it depends on the Elks club that you want to join. But it was a really cool experience, to be honest. It's very throwback to felt like 1950s. It's all very traditional, and they read from books, and they had like stations, and you walked around, and they had like different officers that read different things from their book, and it was really interesting, honestly. But I like the Elks because they support their local community and local vets, and it's a nice place for people to gather and socialize. I didn't know a whole lot about it, but honestly, after going, I can see the appeal. What we like about it is that it does save money. When you need a quick overnight, there's usually an Elks somewhere nearby, and it's either free or a donation, or they have like a set price, because they all are very different. Some of them don't have any hookups, that's just the parking lot. Some of them have a full-on campground. So what we do is we use the Elks app, and we look to see if there's one, like if we're just passing through town, and usually you give them a call and they will tell you if they have room for you or what the arrangement is. And I tell you what, it is a nice, when you've been driving all day and you can stay somewhere for relatively cheap, and they have if they have a meal, some of them have really nice restaurants, and you can get a drink and just relax, and you don't have to cook anything. It's just such a welcome thing on a long drive day. So if you get a chance, look into the Elks, and all you have to do is have a sponsor and then be able to attend one of their membership ceremonies, and it is a good thing. And you're giving back to a club that gives back to that community, and that's an awesome thing. So that's it for this episode, and don't forget, guys, live like there's no tomorrow.